Okay, go ahead, Huang Zhang.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, hello everyone. These slides will give you a simple description about the RESTful executor and the corresponding executor function, which is used to support 5G RESTful NRM configuration management use case. It has two parts. The first part is about SS API implementation. The second part is about RESTful executor and executor function implementations. Here is a wiki reference, and through this link you can find more information about the use case. But in these slides, we will mostly talk about the implementation of executor and executor function. Okay. First part is about the SS API implementations. In the test step, we will use a script and a JSON file to simulate the SO. So the SO will send the configure deploy four type of a request to SS API, configure deploy to create a 5G NRM management object instance, configure gate to retrieve the parameter information about the created 5G NRM MOIs, and configure modify to modify the parameter of the created 5G NRM MOIs, and the configure delete. Here is the HTTP request, and here is the request body. Is in JSON format, and the request body should specify the name of blueprint and the name of workflow, the action name. And it also, in the payload, it contains information about NRM management object instance, like this. And the next slide is about the RESTful executor and the executor function implementations. This figure shows the class, the information about the class inheritance. We defined one new RESTful executor and the corresponding component functions. And in this class, it has 6 functions. REST client service, it will get a new blueprint web client service instance. Process NRM, it will process the execution service input from SO and invoke the corresponding NRM configuration functions like create MOIs, get MOI attributes according to the workflow name. And the create MOI, it will create and configure MOI through the HTTP request through the HTTP protocol, and the RESTful function just to the retrieve MOI attribute and modify the MOI and delete the MOI. And these slides will give you some detailed information about the function process NRM. Process NRM, if you invoke the process NRM, it will first instantiate one new REST client service instance based on the operation input. The REST client service instance inherits the blueprint web service client. And in the operation input, you can find the information about port, about host, about user and the password. And then it will invoke the corresponding NRM configuration according to the workflow name. For example, if it's a configure deploy workflow, and for each NRM management object instance, it will invoke create MOI once to send one HTTP put request to the 5G MNS provider. 5G MNS provider can be a EM or a NF. And when the MNS provider receives the put request, it will perform the create MY operations and send the response back to the blueprint executor. And then the process IM will process, the process IM function will process and merge the response from the 5G MNS provider and send them back to the SO. Yeah. Any comments and questions?
No, it's a perfect. This is perfect.
I just one question, Huang. This NRM use case, is it for, I'm assuming it's for PNF use cases?
Yes, it's for PNF.
Okay. From SO perspective, how are you generating the payload to CDS? Is it are you using a custom BPMN or using the building blocks approach?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay. Yeah. Hi, Uri. And yesterday I presented the SO requirements in SO meeting, and in Frankfurt we will use the customer workflow for this use case.
You're using custom workflow. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. And I guess the custom workflow is calling a function. Are you creating 3 custom workflows that support these 3 or 4 capabilities for config deploy, config get, and config modify and config delete?
Yes, I propose to 3 customer workflow for modify, get, and delete operations, and we hope the configure deploy will be a building block in SO. But
okay.
It depends on the depends on the PMP refactoring work, as I said yesterday.
Okay, so the one thing I just want to make sure that you think up with Rahul from and Pratmesh patches, so that you can leverage some of those capabilities for the SO payload generation for CDS interaction. Okay?
Yeah.
I will add you to those JIRAs, and you can just reference those patches and see and provide your feedback as well, Huang.
Oh, yeah, thank you. That's good. And for this implementation, it will solve the SysDK 1909. Okay.
Yes. Yes, we will upload the code as soon as possible. This week I'm in a business trip. It's I can't access my code now. So, but we will upload them as soon as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And only the 2 comments that I have that in your class diagram you have shown the Jython, right? So whether that is a Jython, it's a Kotlin. I think it should, right?
Sorry.
Can you go to the class diagram, please?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, in that bottom left side, it shows some Jython, right?
Yes, we use a JSON script. Yeah.
I think that script, whatever I have seen, it's a Kotlin script, right?
Yeah, it's Kotlin. Yeah, you use Kotlin language.
Exactly. So just to replace the Jython, because Jython we are going to deprecate that, so it should be a Kotlin. Only that naming, okay, that name it should represent that it should be a Kotlin script. Okay, and one more point, since this is a functionality perspective, just let me look into that where CDS functions. Okay, I can create one more folder called functions. Okay, which is specific to that certain implementation or certain use cases, right? So in that case, we can build that function independent of the CDS or anywhere, and then you can build a Docker image based on that whatever instance that we want. Okay, so it means like we don't want to overload a single instance with all kind of implementation. So we can build that own Docker and then own functions, okay, separately outside of the CDS or CDS core framework.
Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah. We can do this function separately. Yeah. But,
exactly.
I mean, maybe, yeah.
Inside the CDS repo, but it's like a different folder structure. Okay, so what are the functions inside that blueprint processor? We can retain a common reusable or platform specific capabilities or capability functions. We can keep it, and then one more directory I will create. Okay, to hold this kind of functionality. Okay, this kind of functionality specific to the use cases, right?
Yes, I guess, but in this way, I think I need to redesign my code. Yeah.
Yeah.
To separate this for function out. Yeah.
Exactly. That is the point I'm making now. Okay, that's all I have. I think it's a perfect, and then really you understand the serious architecture, and then the design aligns to that, yeah, completely.
Okay, thank you for your comments.